What are we talking about today, Alison?
Today we're talking about prayer being a two-way conversation.
Ah, nice.
One of the things that New Zealand is known for is sheep. That's right, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's always
Very much.
intrigued me that, like, you can see a whole paddock of, like, mother sheep with their lambs, and they all know who their mother is. Even though they all look the same, they all know who they belong to.
Yeah.
You know, and apparently it's something to do with scent, but it's also to do that they recognise their bleats.
Ah,
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
The bleating.
That's cute.
Yeah. And, you know, Jesus talks about sheep. In John chapter 10, he says, the sheep recognise his voice and they come to him. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And after he's gathered his flock, he walks ahead of them and they follow him because they know his voice. And I just love that, you know, the fact that we can know our shepherd's voice, you know, and the fact that he knows us personally and that we're drawn to him. And so a number of years ago, I thought, I want to hear God's voice. It shouldn't just be a rare thing that you hear, like, in a crisis or, you know.
Yeah.
It should be something every day.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, so I thought I need to learn how to do this. I want to learn how to hear God's voice, how to recognize his voice. So I bought a journal and I decided that when I opened my Bible, I was going to intentionally listen or try to hear God's voice, and I'd write it in my journal. I was expectant. I wasn't just ticking a box reading my Bible. It changed my Bible reading. I wasn't just ticking a box. I was engaging with the author.
Nice.
And I love that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I was engaging with the author, looking for a phrase or waiting for a verse or a thought that would jump out and feel alive and that applied to me personally.
Yeah.
And I think the interesting thing is that God is never on mute, but we have to train our ears to hear. We have to lean in and to be intentional about wanting to hear his voice, because it's often a whisper.
Yeah, it's easy to miss, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's easy to miss. So how do we recognise that it's his voice? And often it is easy to miss. It's just a nudge,
Yeah.
or a thought, or a verse that jumps off a page. It might be a verse I've read lots of times before, but on this particular day, it just seems really relevant. Or it might be a lyric in a song or a sermon. It's sort of the voice within the voice.
Yeah.
And he speaks to us in everyday language and in everyday things. If we're looking, if our antennae are up and we're
I think
listening.
that's the thing. That's what I'm picking up from what you're saying here. There needs to be a lot of intentionality on our part, because we can just be so busy and it can just go past us. But it's a discipline, a great discipline to have, but you're actually working at this, and the effort that you're putting in is coming back tenfold, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're by nature we're passive. We're just like, oh, help me, do this, do that, you know. But you know, we've actually got to be intentional. I really believe that there are spiritual disciplines, you know, that benefit us. Like any discipline benefits us. They really do benefit us. And I think the other thing is, how do we know it's God's voice? And I think it lines up with his character. And it's often gentle, like we said before. It's a whisper, but it hits the spot.
Yes, that's right.
It's not demanding or condemning, and it's often incredibly personal and relevant to whatever stage or whatever you're going through at that particular time.
And it would be in line with the Bible, what you'd read in the Bible. That's
yeah.
where you find his character.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes you want to follow him. It draws you to him. You know, you want to be closer to him. And it's potentially life-changing. You know, sometimes I think one word from God it can change your mood, can change your attitude, can change your decision-making, you know. So, yeah, like you said, Lee, I encourage people to be intentional. Ask God to speak to you every day. Expect it.
Yeah.
Let it not be a rare thing. Keep a journal, tune in and see what he might say. And really, what a privilege that he would even speak to us.
I know, it's
Gotta say,
awesome.
It's an absolute privilege that you come in and do this, because you work here, but you work on the floor, so you can come in and talk to us like that. So we get you for free. Essentially, it's a bargain around the sheep. See what I did there with the sheep bargain?
Boy. Very
Okay,
good.
I'll go now.
Okay. Thanks so much, Alison. That was
You're
absolutely
welcome.
brilliant. Looking forward to next week.